Hello Leo, and welcome to your general reading for the month of April. This is a reading for the Leo collective, and because of that, the messages may not resonate with every Leo watching. What we're going to do today is pull 2 oracle cards, and for that I am using Secrets of the Mystic Grove, and then we'll move on to tarot. The tarot deck for this month is the Field Tarot. Now, if you're interested in having input in the decks which get used in the monthly readings, please consider subscribing, because once I get to 500 subscribers, I get access to the community tab, and then I could do polls, and the monthly readings could be sort of a viewer's choice in terms of the decks that get used. Now, all of that said, let's move on to your reading, and we'll start with the oracle. Looking for messages for Leo for the month of April. Okay, Leo, let's see. Card number 1 is distance, divide, separation, discord. So Leo, you may be experiencing distance with someone, and that might be of an emotional or a physical nature. Perhaps you and another person are very far apart, living in different countries or different cities or different states, and that could be what this distance is alluding to. Could also be emotional distance. Maybe somebody is emotionally distant from you, or you're emotionally distant from someone. Now, it's interesting how in this picture there are 2 birds, and while they look to be pretty close together in terms of space, they are very distant, with this bird not even paying attention to that one. So it is possible that you could be in a situation with someone, or even in close proximity with them, for example, living with them, but you might be feeling distant and alone despite their presence and despite the fact that they are there. So there is something going on here with distance, Leo. It might even have to do with distance with certain parts or aspects of yourself. But when we pull tarot, we will clarify. Now, this is card number 38 for those of you who are interested in the numbers. I'll put this for you right here. Okay. The second card is trust, overcoming fear, intentions, having faith. This is card number 7. Now, in this image, we see the individual feeding strawberries to tigers. And while that would normally be a very scary undertaking, the individual is very calm. There is no fear here. They're even barefoot, and they're trusting the process, and they're trusting in the nature and temperament of the tiger, and trusting in the fact that everything will be fine. So maybe, Leo, you need to have trust in a particular process, whether that process has to do with relationship or employment or something else. Maybe there's a trust that everything will work out the way that it should. It could also have to do with trusting in yourself, trusting in your decisions and in your choices and in your intuition, and overcoming certain fears that you may have. So we'll find out what this is alluding to. It's interesting that distance and trust came up together. Maybe some of you are in a long distance relationship, and there needs to be trust in that, trust in your partner. So we'll explore and we'll find out. Okay, Leo. So let's move on to tarot now. And we'll see what this trust and what this distance is all about. Okay, Leo, let's see. The High Priestess. Ace of Cups. The Moon. Eight of Cups. Two of Cups. The Emperor. Queen of Wands. The Universe. Okay, Leo. So, Leo, there's a lot going on here. And what stands out initially is that we have a predominance of Cups energy, which, as you may know, has to do with your emotions. We also have 4 major arcana. And major arcana are predominant and overriding energies in a reading. So we've got Cups, major arcana, then we have a Court card. So Leo, you have been questioning your intuition when it comes to matters of the heart. There are things that you know intuitively that you have been fighting against. Given the Cups energy here, bolstered by the major arcana energy, this is definitely going to be a relationship reading. You were involved with someone, Leo, and you thought that they might be your person. And the truth is they were your person. But for some reason, either because other people were trying to distract you and get your attention, away from this individual, or because of your own vulnerabilities and insecurities, you did not trust in that process. You started to have doubts. You thought that this person might be your twin flame. That's what you were thinking about. That's where your mind and your heart were going. You felt the connection with this person instantly. When you met them, you instantly felt that connection. Yes, there was the physical attraction, etc., and you were able to talk and communicate and have discourse and conversation. But beyond that, there was this energy that you felt this is your person, this is your twin flame, this is the other part of you. The yin and the yang, the masculine and the feminine. And I don't mean sex or gender here, I mean the energies, the balance of the two. You felt that instantly. You became afraid, Leo. This was all too much and too overwhelming for you. You became afraid. You thought that maybe this could be love. You were afraid that you would fall in love with this person and that you would lose yourself and maybe your independence and maybe your freedom and maybe the ability to come and go and do as you please. But I think those were justifications because I think fundamentally, Leo, you became afraid of the idea that after all this time, after all of these other relationships, which either weren't pleasant or weren't good or didn't pan out or whatever the case may be, you were afraid that this might be it. But Leo, there are things going on within yourself, hidden things where you did not trust. You did not trust in all of the signs and symbols that the universe was giving you that, yes, this is your person. This is your twin flame. You knew it. You didn't want to believe it. You didn't want to believe it because there is still internal work that you have to do. And so what did you do, Leo? You retreated. You retreated from this connection, or maybe they beat you to the punch because they felt that you were being resistant, or maybe they felt that you were being unsure, and so you parted ways. That's where the distance comes in. You are distant from your person. You're distant from the person who completes you. That's what this is all about. You didn't have trust in your own intuition. You didn't have trust in your own insight. And this has been a challenge for you, Leo, for some time. Leo, sometimes you, and I think we may have talked about this in previous readings, sometimes you weigh your mind against your heart and what you think to be true versus what you feel, and the feelings and the thoughts, and you think that they're contrary, but they're not. Leo, I'm tenderly frustrated with you. Can I be tenderly frustrated with you? I'm tenderly frustrated with you, Leo, because sometimes the challenge of a situation, and specifically this situation, the challenge is the challenge that you're bringing into it. Your internal challenge with all of this becomes external. So your conflict between your head and your heart became a conflict here between you and your person, your twin flame, for those of you who believe in that concept, twin flame. You brought that out in this connection, and this person sensed it, and you both retreated from each other. Both of you knowing, because this other person knows as well, Leo. They're not, they're not someplace else. They too felt the same way. They know that you are their twin flame. They know that you are their person. But they also know that they cannot work within the energy of you not being sure, you doubting yourself, and you not trusting your intuition. Your intuition knows what is true. Look what we have here. We have the Ace of Cups, right? Intuition and Ace of Cups, and intuition and Two of Cups, which is union. Deep inside, you know that this was your person. But instead, you doubted it. You retreated, they retreated. And you've given your energy to things that have not been that satisfying. You've both given your energy to connections that just weren't it. They weren't emotionally satisfying. They weren't physically satisfying. They weren't satisfying on that human level, that deep level of understanding that only two people who are deeply bonded cosmically could understand. Those connections and those distractions are easy. This is difficult and this is challenging, but Leo, you need to balance out, and you need to understand and have trust that your mind and your heart are aligned. They're not two separate things. And the fact that you are weighing them that way is part of the challenge. Now, the other part of the challenge, Leo, is that you have been on a path of inner work. You have been on the path of trying to understand all of this. Trying to understand yourself, trying to understand why it is that other connections are not working. They're not working, Leo, because that is not your person. Those are just things that you're doing and people who you're spending your time with to distract you from this, because this scares you. This scares you because this is the real thing, Leo. Now, Leo, I don't recall if we've said this in previous readings or not, but it is very possible that we are talking about another fire sign. We have the Emperor, which is indicative of Aries here, and we have the Queen of Wands, which is also an Aries energy. Wands energy is fire energy, and typically King of Wands is Leo, Queen of Wands is Aries. So we have a duality here of Aries energy. And I've been feeling for a very long time now, for several months, there's this dance between Aries and Leo that is going on. There is this dance, this back and forth of energies. You come in, they retreat. They reach out, you retreat. The chaser and the chased. C-H-A-S-E-D, not C-H-A-S-T-E. And this is because fundamentally, Leo, you need to trust your intuition. What you felt in the beginning was solid. That was true. That was it. And you know, Leo, that you haven't felt that connection with somebody before. You've been in long relationships, sure. You've had other relationships, some of them very lengthy and very serious, or at least you thought and believed it, but it was different. It was different than what we have going on here. And you're struggling with this, Leo. There is no question, there is no doubt. I mean, we have intuition here and we have the moon being our emotions and everything hidden. So we have intuition about love, toying with our emotions and struggling with your emotions and everything that you're keeping within and keeping quiet about, and that caused you and them to retreat. Again, if we're talking about another fire sign, you're built the same way, you're wired the same way, so they're likely doing the same thing. There's like this power play of like egos as well, especially if we are talking about two fire signs. So you both retreated because you're both so scared. And you're trying, Leo, you're trying to get things in order. Some of you might be, taking classes like in self-improvement, perhaps going, seeking counseling or something like that. Just, trying to align your head and your heart, or trying to at least get your thoughts and like, your perceptions in order. But I think there will come a point where you will realize that this is your person and this is the connection that you were meant to be in. And you will start to trust your intuition. Once you trust your intuition, Leo, about this person and about this connection, everything will fall into place. You can see the cards here are very positive. The Emperor, there's that energy of, they've worked hard for everything that they have and everything that they've established. And that's the work that you are doing, Leo. You are working very hard. You're working hard so that something could ultimately be bright. And if you get it all sorted out, this connection is bright. Again, we've established this is it. There is no question. Once you get everything in order, get yourself in order, Leo, the outlook is extremely positive. You feel misaligned, Leo. You definitely feel misaligned because you're not in this connection. You're denying yourself this connection, which is real. You're denying yourself essentially everything that you've ever wanted. So a lot of this is them and going through the same thing and experiencing the same thing. As I said, this dance, push and pull between the two of you. But a lot of it, Leo, is your own doubts. When you stop doubting yourself, stop doubting your emotions, allow them to come to the surface, accept them, trust them, then everything will be okay. This is the World card right here. Ultimately, this whole connection, when you allow it to be and to happen, everything changes. Everything is aligned. So Leo, it's important to allow yourself to feel. Allow yourself to feel and don't push against this. Allow it to happen. Now, Leo, just because, as I said, I'm tenderly frustrated with you, what I'm going to do is, hold on. I'm going to use these cards and we're going to do a time check because, Leo, we need to get this together. We need to have this happen because, Leo, you know, this lack of alignment and the lack of being with your twin flame has you all out of sorts. Let's be honest. You are out of sorts. Oops, and there it goes. Card fell down, and it is, here we go. Interesting, Leo. So this card is telling me that this will all fall into place. This will start to resolve. This will make you open to reconnecting with your twin flame and allowing for that balance to occur either in the season of Scorpio, which we know is November, or within 8 months, which also aligns actually with the season of Scorpio. So sometime I would say between November and December, this should all start falling into place. What's interesting is the number 8 here is also your number, Leo. If we're looking at Leos in the month of August, August is the 8th month. Typically the 8th card of the tarot deck is also Leo, so extremely significant. This is like you are showing up in your own reading. Even though this is not a tarot card, this is like you showing up in your own reading. So we have the number 8 within 8 months or in the season of Scorpio, and those are very close together. But let's see here. What's entirely more interesting is this card tells us to heal the wounds. And that's exactly it, Leo. You need to heal your wounds before any of this can happen. Past people have hurt you. But the reason for that is because you probably shouldn't have been with them in the first place. You were looking at aspects of them which were okay, but there was a lack of alignment with those past people. Like I said, this is the real deal. You need to heal the wounds from the past for this all to happen and to take place. And you know what I'm going to do, Leo? I'm actually going to read the book. Read the book for this card. So let's see what it says. Leo, I feel like this is like a super extended reading for you. Okay. So these cards are the cards of time, just so that you know. And let's see what it says. So, month of Scorpio. And this is October 24th to November 22nd, and that is Scorpio season. 8 months from April falls into December. So we're looking at the period from October 24th into December. Number 8, time of autumn, a farewell to previous ways of expression, commitments, values, and goals. And that's what we've been talking about, Leo, a farewell to previous ways of expression. And you have not been expressing, you've been suppressing. You've been expressing by suppressing. And that's something that you need to stop doing so that this could all happen. Now, let's go into relationships and see what this means. An intense confrontation shows that energies are flowing between the two of you. Stay confident within the process. Leo, you couldn't even make this up. Stay confident within the process. Trust. Having faith. Being confident with the process. Your internal process of sorting this out. Be confident with the process. Be confident in the fact that all's well as ends well, and that ultimately, ideally, between October and December, this will all sort itself out and there will be a reunion. There will be a reunion. Let's see if there's anything else that this might indicate. The general meaning, the time from 24th of October to November 22nd bears a crucial hint to your question today. So our question here was, when will this all resolve? And we have our answer, Scorpio season or within 8 months, 8 weeks to 8 months. I'm leaning towards 8 months. However, it will only happen if you heal the wounds. Heal those internal wounds, Leo. Trust your gut. You know this is your person. You know this is your twin flame. There is no question. But keep doing that internal work so that by the end of this calendar year, all's well that ends well. That is what I have for you, Leo. Thank you so much. Until next time.